Hey guys, this is Dr. Callahan for week 3 Tuesday for Algebra 2 semester 2. This is your warm-up. You guys have 4 questions. You can pick any 3 of your choice. I'm sorry, pick 2, and then question number 3 is on the very bottom. All right, so here are your answers. So take a look at them. If you need to change it, that's totally fine. Okay, so putting things into perspective. This week is week 2 Tuesday, or I'm sorry, week 3 Tuesday. We didn't lose a week. Week 3 Tuesday. Next week is week 4. Your finals week is gonna be on week 20. So we have exactly about 17 more weeks until your finals, until the end of the semester. Today, we are gonna go on to finishing skill number 3 and moving on to skill number 4. Your week 3 math Excel is going to be on finding zeros on polynomial. You should have completed your week 2 and also week 1's math Excel. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and share with you how to go about finding your math Excel very quickly. And so you're just going to go to Washoe County math Excel. That's how you type in. And then you go to Algebra 2 right there. Oh, okay. Let's try that one more time. And from there, we're going to go down to sign in and then just Algebra 2. Once you get to this part, you should have your assignments already shown up there for you guys. And so far, you guys had 2 quizzes and then also 2 homework assignments. Now, if you did not complete your homework, I'm going to reopen that up for you guys. You can still complete it, but there will be a penalty. So let me go ahead and reassign this. And then also here is the one for your homework. I'm going to go ahead and reassign this as well, so that way you have access to it. My philosophy is, as long as you're willing to do the work, I don't care when you turn it in. I mean, you can't turn it in after June because that's the last day of school. But there'll be a slight penalty, but I would rather have you do it than not have anything at all. And so then your homework this week is going to be on the roots of polynomial. And let's go ahead and just type in week 3 math Excel homework. And this is for Algebra 2, semester 2. You guys only have 12 questions. And this is going to be due on the 23rd. Although, you know, since we have like a 3-day week, I'll make it due until Monday instead of Sunday. So Monday by 11 p.m. You guys are allowed to have access to it. You have 3 different tries on it, and let me just go ahead and sign it. Here we go. Okay, so then if you take a look at this here, you guys will have all the ones that you need for this week, and it just says week 3. Okay, I'll go ahead and paste it over here in your PowerPoint. Okay, so then with that said, so that is done. This is what it looks like. If you take a look at this here, you guys have week 1 homework and quiz, then you have week 2 homework and quiz, and now you're on week 3. So your homework is given to you, it's already open, and then your quiz, I'll activate that on Wednesday for you guys, where you can work on it in class. All right, so we are done with graphing. Let's see, today is Today we're going to talk about transformations of polynomials. We might kind of finish the roots a little bit. We're just like a teeny tiny bit behind. So if we ever have a distance learning day, I think I showed you guys where you need to go. It's just going to be on MS Team. You just go to your Algebra 2 class, and then from your Algebra 2 class, I give you guys like the specific instructions, and it basically says that you need to go and view the assignment. Excuse me, and then watch the video as if you are in class, okay? And so if you're like, where is it? Well, it says view assignment. So that's where you will do. Click on that, view the assignment. Once you view the assignments, it'll keep track of who checked in with me, and I just basically take attendance from there. And then it also shows you, let's see, the instructions on how to go about doing this, which is just watch the video. So week 2, Friday. So as long as you did that, you are good to go. Another thing is that you need to make sure that you take the attendance within the time frame of class. So you can't just do this at like 8 p.m. that night. You have to obviously do it based on the schedule for the distance learning, which I also posted on your MS team. And if you look at it for third period, your class ends at 9:45, which is a lot earlier than your regular day. Your classes are only 30 minutes, so just keep that in mind. And so I will take attendance by 9:45. And as long as you view the assignment, you can watch the video later, but you have to click on that tab, so that way I can keep track that you checked in for me. Okay. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to today's stuff. This is week 3 Tuesday. We're going to be finishing finding the zeros and start transformation of polynomials. So we're kind of like transitioning over there. Your activity is you do have a worksheet and you do have an exit ticket. Your material is your TI-84 calculator, and then also the handout. So the handout I'm actually going to print out for you guys right now. Print 37. Let's see, 37. Copy. So I'm gonna have you guys just come on up, grab a TI-84 calculator, and then the worksheet that's coming up. So come on up, you guys. TI-84 is on the bottom. And then this is your handout for today. I'm going to move it right here. I'm sorry. All right, you guys. So once you have the worksheet and the TI-84 calculators, we're going to turn over to this page of your guided notes, which is the white packet. Does anybody need a copy of this? All right, it says, what are the real and complex roots of the following function? Find the first root by graphing, then use synthetic division for the remaining. So the first 0, I have to do this by graphing. So obviously that's where you have your TI-84 calculators. I know that this one has 3 roots based on the biggest exponent right there, but I can't factor it, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and graph it. So then with that said, let's go ahead and graph it. All right, so let's go ahead and grab this thing. So if I take a look at this right here, I'm gonna go to y equals. I wanna clear that. So if you have something there already, you wanna clear it as well. And then you're just gonna type an X right there. And as I'm clicking on the, numbers or letters and the buttons, it's highlighted in red, so you know where I'm clicking. It's important that you know how to use this and graph it. I know you're like, well, you're graphing it, Callahan, so I'll just copy it down. No, you need to know how to graph this, because on your final and also on your test, you need to have a TI-84 and you need to know how to use that, and also the buttons. And for those of you guys who are planning on going to like classes next year, if you're planning on going to trigonometry and pre-calculus, for example, you use this quite a bit, especially if you're planning on going to college and you want to major something that's math related, whether it's business, finance, engineering, any anything that's math related, you need to know how to use your TID for a calculator, because you're going to be going into business calculus or regular calculus if you're going to become a doctor or a scientist, for example, which all requires to use your TID for a calculator. So you're really doing yourself a favor if you know how to use the buttons and how to graph now. Then when you guys go to college, you don't have to catch up nearly as much. So x to the third power, so move that little caret and then push the right button so you can get the little cursor down off the exponent, minus 3x minus 52, and then just hit graph. And look right there. Do you see how like your 0 is at 1, 2, 3, 4 right there? And if you're like, but are you sure it's 4? What if it's like 4.1? And you can check that by doing a second trace, go down to number 2 where it says 0, hit enter, and then you see that little bar or the little cursor right there. You want that little cursor to be underneath the x-axis, hit enter, and you get that little triangle right here. There's a little triangle right there. And then you hit the little right button to go above the x-axis, hit the enter button. And then you have the second little cursor right here, okay? And what that does is between these two little triangles, it's gonna make a guess. You're gonna hit enter a third time, and then it's gonna make a guess. And my guess does not look good at all. So what does that mean? That probably means that I didn't do a good job with moving my little cursor. And it was such a bad job that it literally froze, like it's not even moving right there. Well, as you guys are doing this, hopefully you did a better job than I did, but it should be at 1, 2, 3, 4. But my computer or my calculator completely froze, but it's at 4. Anyways, so then here, if your x is your 0 is at 4, if I write it into a root, it'll be x minus 4, like that, okay? And so then it says use synthetic division. So let's go ahead and use synthetic division for this. So with your synthetic division, you have x cubed minus 3x plus 0x, here we go, 0x squared minus 3x minus 52, okay? You're only gonna focus in on the numbers, the coefficients in front of it. So I'm gonna draw my reverse division bar. I'm gonna put in 1, 0, -3, -52. And you want to make sure that you don't have anything that you're missing. Like a lot of people forget that 0x squared, and in which case, if you forget it, you'll screw it up, okay? And then what goes here is just your 4, not -4, because remember this one, you have to have x equals solved for x. So then all I do is I bring down that 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Make sure you add them, gives me a 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Add it, gives me a 13. 4 times 13 is going to give me a 42. When you add it, it gives you a -10. Or no, 52, just kidding. And it gives you a 0. So then your answer in this situation is going to give you 1 x squared. Why is it squared? It's always that biggest power minus 1. It's always 1 less. Plus 4x plus 13. So then what are the roots for this? It is going to be x minus 4, x squared plus 4x plus 13. And that is your answer. Okay, let's go ahead and try another one, okay? Let's go on to this one right here. So once again, we need to go ahead and find the first root. And we do that by graphing it. And my calculator totally froze here. So let me see if I can close that. Okay, fine, won't even close. Hold on a second. Let's task manager. Okay, let's try this one more time. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it is not going to work, but that's okay. When things happen like this, I'm just gonna try something else. Let's try this. Let's see if I can go ahead and download another one very quickly, because I don't want to spend too much time on it, but at the same time, I'm like, I need to have my silly little thing here, the TI-84 calculator, so I can graph this. I can show it to you guys. Let's see if I can try this one. Download. Okay. Browse. Let's see. Desktop. Finish. Okay, perfect. So this was not as great as the other one, but for the sake of this class for now, it will have to work. Okay, so here is your TI-84 calculator. There we go. Okay, so then on this TI-84 calculator, I'm sorry you can't see it as well. Unfortunately, it's a little bit dark, but you're gonna do exactly the same thing. You're just going y equals right there. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and clear all of that. I'm gonna do x to the third power. Okay, move the little right cursor, plus 9x squared. Move the little right cursor, minus 7x, and then minus 63. I'm gonna hit graph. Okay, so if you're like, how do I go about finding the zeros? You can see that right here. The zeros are gonna be like at 2 point something right here, you know, but it's not a perfect number. And then over here, it's gonna be at like negative 2 point something. But then over here, it's at negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So x plus 9 is a perfect one. But if I wanna go ahead and just try this, let's do the second trace. So there's my little cursor. It's coming over here. It's taking a little bit of time. Okay, so I want this below the x-axis right there. So I'm gonna hit enter. And I can't hit enter because this stupid thing is in the way. Let me move it over here. Enter. And then I'll move it above the x-axis, hit enter one more time, and then enter again. And then do you see that when x equals negative 9, y is equal to 0? So I know that that's a good one. I didn't want to use the other two because they're not perfect numbers. You know what I mean? It has to be a perfect number. So x equals negative 9 is one of my zeros. So I'm going to put that back as x plus 9. So that's one of them. Then I'm going to use synthetic division. You could use synthetic division or long division. It really does not matter. Since I used synthetic division last time, I'm going to see if I can go ahead and use long division this time. So let's do long division. So with long division, you just put x cubed plus 9x squared minus 7x minus 69. You want to make sure there, or sorry, 63. You want to make sure there's nothing skipping between the powers, like 3, 2, 1, and then the number. But then with long division, you have to literally put in the x plus 9, not x equals negative 9, but x plus 9. That's different than the synthetic division. So then you ask yourself, okay, x times what gives me x cubed? It'll be x squared. You will have to distribute that, which gives you x cubed plus 9x squared. And then, of course, you want to subtract it, which gives you a 0. Bring down that negative 7x. And then you put a minus 7. Again, distribute it, which will give you a negative 7x plus or minus 63. Bring down that negative 63. Subtract it, and you get 0. So then there you have it, you guys. 2 different ways of finding the zeros. You have to graph the first one. So your answer in this case is going to be x plus 9 and x squared minus 7. And that's it. All right, let's go on to the next one. And this will be your last one that we go over in class, I promise. Okay, I know these are like, kind of long and whatnot. So let's graph this one. So first you're gonna do is you're gonna find your 0. So let me see if my calculator, nope, it's still not working. It won't even close, which is really frustrating for me, but that's okay. Luckily I have the other one, so we'll use this one instead. And let me go ahead and share this one with, there we go. All right, so you're gonna go back to y equals, let's clear that one out. I'm gonna do 2x to the third, make sure you move your cursor down, minus x squared plus 18x minus 9, and then just graph it. Okay, well, can't really see where this is going. So I'm gonna go to zoom. If you hit on zoom and you go down to like 10, I wonder if this will work if I just hit 10. Hold on a second, let me see if it works. Oh no, it doesn't work that way. So I really have to like, okay, let's go to zoom. And you're just gonna hit the down button because I want to get to number 10. And I was like, rather than hitting the down button, I wonder if it would just like do it if I just push the 10, but no, it doesn't. Zoom fit, hit enter. And what that will do is it will graph it so you can see it a little bit better. All right, so I can only see there's one actual 0 right there, which is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now go to second trace, go to zeros, and if we want to definitely make sure that is the case, I can go down over here, hit enter below the x-axis, go above the x-axis, hit enter, and hit enter one more time. And this is close enough. If you look at the y, it says negative 2e to the negative 11 power. That means there's like 10 zeros in front of the 2. So it's like 0.000000002. So it's practically 0. You know what I mean? And then your y is negative 5.2, which I personally don't really like that. But for sake of this, let's just say that x equals negative 5, and in which case x plus 5 equals a 0. Okay, so that will be your parenthesis. And then if you want to do this by synthetic division, because it might go a little bit faster, put 2, negative 1, 18, negative 9. Remember here, it has to be the x equal 1, so that's negative 5. It's not a positive 5. And then we're just going to draw this down, negative 10, negative 11, positive 55. And then we're going to have 5, 6, 7, 73. Holy moly, that's going to be a little bit crazy. So then 73 times 5 is going to give you a negative 365. And so if I go ahead and add that together, it's a negative 374. So then my other root is not just going to be x plus 5, but it's going to be 2x squared minus 11x plus 73 minus 374 divided by, because remember, that's your remainder, over the divisor, which is x plus 5. Okay. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and take a look at your quick draw. Okay, so with your quick draw, I want you guys to go ahead and draw me a picture of you when you graduate, and then a picture of you after you graduate. So like, for example, this is one that was done by a former student of mine, and this is her. This is a picture of her when she graduated, and this is a picture of her after she graduated. And she said, I will work towards having a GPA 4.0 or higher so then I can get into Johns Hopkins University. And once I graduate, I can become a microbiologist. I can accomplish this goal by always trying my hardest to get straight A's and be an avid scholar. And there she is holding a pipette. And so what I want you guys to do is just here, make sure you draw it. And over here, tell me, what is your goal as a junior or senior this year? So take about maybe 5 minutes, and then we will come back to this. So once again, if you're done with the ones on the left, you want to focus over here on the right. There are 16 questions, and it says a polynomial function with rational coefficient as the following zeros. So here you have the following zeros, and then follow all the additional zeros. And you can go ahead and graph that. You can do synthetic division. So what would you do to go ahead and find that? So take a moment and do that. A little bit of assistance. Take a look at the answers from 1 to 10 that I have right here. So take a look to see where you are. Is it something similar that you're doing? And if you take a look at like number 1, for example, do you see how this one is a conjugate? So remember, your other 0 is always going to be the minus. And similarly to this one, where there's a square root, your other one has to be a 1 minus a square root of 6. So if that number 1 to 6 were fairly simple, because if you take a look at number 6 right here, here you have a -2 plus 2i. And then it matches the -2 minus 2i, which is good. But then you have the -3 plus 2i, but it doesn't have the matching piece of it, which will be -3 minus 2i. Okay, so 1 to 10 wasn't super difficult. It's just make sure you have the correct counterparts. Okay, then you take a look at number 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so here it's saying write a polynomial function with a degree that it matches with the integral coefficient, okay, that has a given 0. So I'm going to take a look at number 8, and I'll go over number 8 with you guys. So for number 8, this is what you have. For number 8, you have a -1 and then a -i, which you're like, what? So first thing you do is you take the -1, so that's going to be x plus 1. And then that -i, it's going to be a x plus I. But then remember, there's like a counterpart to that, so x minus I. Okay, and once you have that, you guessed it, I know it's not your favorite, but I'm sorry, you're going to have to go ahead and FOIL that then. So when I go ahead and FOIL that part that I highlighted in yellow, so f is your first, that's going to be x squared. O is your outside, which is going to be -i. I is your inside, which is a positive ix, and your last is positive I times negative I, so that's -i squared. Now, you could just cancel the outer and inner, that just cancels itself. And then remember I told you that I squared is just square root of -1 times -1, which is just a -1. So this is going to be a -1, which makes it a +1. So that entire thing that you just did gives you an x squared plus 1. Okay, but you're not done yet, because then you also have to focus in on this one here in orange and this part. So now you have to multiply those two. You can multiply that with FOIL, or you can create a chart, whichever one works for you. If I were to use a chart, x and 1 goes on top, x squared and 1 goes on the left side, and then you just simply fill in your chart. You have x cubed, x squared, x, and 1. Now remember, your first and last answer is going to be the top left and the bottom right. So x cubed plus 1. Now in between, you got to be very careful, because you cannot combine these two. They're like squares and rectangles, or squares and circles, so you can't combine it. So plus x squared, I have to sign out, plus x, and this right here is your answer, you guys. That is your polynomial to find the following zeros. And your zeros are x plus 1, x plus I, and x minus I. All right, so let's go back over here. So I have 7, 9, and 10. And let's go ahead and take a look at number 11, 12, 13, 14. Go ahead and take a look at the answers there. And I can go over any of those answers with you guys as well. Okay, so then let's go ahead and take a look at number 11. Okay, this one has a square root, so it's a little bit different. So let's try that. Okay, so then looking at this right here. All right, so for number 11, these are your zeros, and I'm going to put them back into x plus 3 because it needs to go back into the parenthesis. And then this one's x minus a square root of 3. But then remember, this is also like a counterpart, so it has to be x plus a square root of 3 like that. And so you guessed it, you're going to have to FOIL that part right there. And then after foiling this for a while, I think you should probably kind of like understand that the first is just x squared, outer inner is just going to cancel, and your last is just going to be square root of 9 or square root of 3 times square root of 3, which is just going to be minus 3. But then you also cannot forget that you're going to have to multiply these two together. So then you can do that using a table or chart, or you could just do FOIL, whichever one works for you. X squared minus 3 is going to go on top. I'm going to reverse it like from last time, just to show you that it doesn't matter where you put them. It's going to be the same answer. X cubed minus 3x, 3x squared minus 9. So then you know your last and first answer is x cubed minus 9. Unfortunately, you cannot combine the diagonals, so plus 3x minus 3. There we go. And that is your answer. All right, you guys. So I'm going to stop right here. And your exit ticket today, you're going to need a cell phone. If you need an iPad, I have an iPad right here. You guys have like plenty of time to finish your exit ticket. You have like 6 more minutes of class. Where's my semester 2? So all you're gonna do is you are, and actually, you know what, I'm just gonna move this one over here. So grab your cell phones, and I'm gonna share this with you guys. Just give me 1 second. All right, so here's your QR code. You're just gonna go ahead and scan it with your cell phone. And then it's gonna ask you on a Google Doc, and then you'll just go ahead and give me the answer from there.